Welcome
to Whips and Sips.
I'm Justine.
And I'm Shelly. So, first and foremost, if you are actually coming back to watch us, thank you so much. It's almost unimaginable to me. But thank you so much for coming back. And if you're new to our show, thanks for joining us. And we hope that you enjoy the interesting information you're about to hear.
I also want to say a huge thank you to everybody that came out last night for the
Holiday sampler.
Thank you, the holiday sampler, and then today for your for LNS Day. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Justine, you had a couple of good days. That's awesome. It's good to see.
Met some wonderful, wonderful people.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And lots of people that have been to the store before and now they're coming back, and that's really good to see. I'm happy for you.
It's fun.
So we didn't really explain how we came up with our name, Whips and Sips. So the idea was, she's been wanting to do a floss tube for quite some time.
Oh, let's get this right. Shelly has been wanting to do a floss tube.
Anyway,
for quite some time.
we won't argue about that
yet.
But when I finally agreed that I would give this a try, we were trying to decide, well, when do we want to do it? How often do we want to do it? All of those things. And we decided that since we're always together on Saturdays, I usually come here every Saturday and help her out.
Bless her heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
We decided, okay, as soon as we close the doors at 3:00 on Saturdays, we'll sit down and film every 2 weeks. And the first time that we did it, you had a customer in the store until close to 4. So we didn't get started as early as we wanted to, but we're always happy to have customers in the store. So
absolutely,
that trumps the floss tube. And today we're pretty much on time. So, but the idea was to sit down at the end of a busy day and talk about our whips and have a little bit of a sip. So, cheers. We are having Moscow Mules today. We had
last time we had
the bourbon, and we didn't even talk about it.
No, the bourbon that ended up with me getting this store.
Yes.
So we'll be drinking that again though sometime.
Exactly. We will. So yes, I made us Moscow Mules for today. Sometime it might be hot chocolate, it might be coffee, it might be a glass of water, who knows. But the plan was to sit down after a good day at the shop and chat with you guys for a little while. So, what's the plan for today's show?
Well, should we show some of our finished projects?
We can do that. Why don't we, because the finishes are going to be kind of a long segment, so Why don't we talk about, we've talked about doing a whip parade, and we kind of decided that a lot of people do their whip parades right at the end of the year or right at the beginning of the new year. And since we're still pretty green at this, we decided to hold off on our whip parades until maybe sometime in December or even early January.
Because I don't know if you guys remember from the first floss tube, but Shelly has more than I do.
Oh, yes, of course. Always. So yeah, we're going to do our whip parade in a few, couple weeks here, two or 4 weeks, something like that. And you've been talking about possibly doing a Thanksgiving start.
I have been. I don't know who I watched, and I so apologize. I think it was maybe the Colorado cross stitcher who is going to do a Thanksgiving start. And I have seen these Stacy Nash patterns forever, and I have loved them. And she said that she was going to have a Thanksgiving Day start, and she was going to start Stacy Nash Turkey Hollow Farm. So I believe I have talked Shelly into starting this with me. And I'm so excited because I could not decide if I wanted to do Turkey Hollow Farm or Christmas at Holly Berry. Someday I'm going to do this one too. Well, excuse me. Someday I'm going to start this one too. So we're kind of excited. We're going to kit that up, and it's going to be here before we know it. So
yeah, that'll be fun. Okay. What about whips? What have you been working on this week or this past couple of weeks?
That's right, because I forgot mine last week. Well,
Yeah.
you want to go every other or?
You go ahead. I've been monogamous stitcher. I think I said it in our last show. I have a Blackbird Designs out of print chart that I'm stitching, and it's borrowed from a friend, so I want to get that stitched up and get it back to her as soon as possible. So I've only stitched on one thing for the last 2 weeks.
Are you okay?
I'll be fine.
Okay.
I'll be okay.
The first one I'm going to show you is Feliz Navidad by Blackbird Designs. And I have had this started for a while.
It's so pretty.
And I have started it on 32 count weeks dye works parchment, and I'm using all the called for flower.
Oh my gosh, you're quite a ways on that.
Well, not as far as I'd
Wow.
like to be, but
Yeah.
it is fun,
great.
and these colors are gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So that would
That's
be
beautiful.
one of my, couple whips. Then the next one is Hands-On Design Noel. And I don't know if you guys have seen this, but this is in the new Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine.
We love us some Kathy Haberman.
Yes, we do. And so I started stitching it on Amazing Gray perforated paper. And I'm like, oh, I like this. I'm just cruising along.
Try and put that right there. There you go.
I don't know if you guys can see this, but that's a hot mess. I got off
What happened?
and well, Justine had a little problem.
Did you fall
so,
asleep?
so I started cutting it, and it isn't as easy to take out on perforated paper for me as it is. So I don't know if I'm gonna sit and poke or if I'm going to and get a new piece.
Okay.
So
I saw you're probably going to talk about it, the Punch Needle Primitive Stitcher magazine that Vanna Pfeiffer finished those on perforated paper. They are so cute.
yes, yes. And then I have a couple Carolyn Manning projects that I have been working on. Every time her new patterns come in, I just love them. So this one, I am doing the light blue one, which I believe is right here. And I haven't gotten very far. And I'm using all the called for floss and
That's
everything.
pretty.
So
That's pretty. I love those kinds of stitches that are kind of, I don't know, comfort stitching.
that's what
you
they
don't-
say.
Yeah, you don't have to do a whole lot of counting, and you can just stitch and kind of relax.
It's
They're-
repetition.
yeah, they're fun to do.
Okay, I'm gonna show you one. My niece got married this fall, about a month ago. And me being an aunt, I was going to cross stitch or something for her wedding because she said she would like something with the letter of her new last name. Well, Pippi, that's as far as she goes. So I don't think I'll get it done, but just want you to know that I was thinking of you. So
Oh, you'll finish it. That's beautiful. I
it
love
is.
that
It's a
color.
Gloriana.
Ooh, it's gorgeous.
So maybe for
Yeah.
their 25th wedding
That's
anniversary.
beautiful.
And then I was down, or Shelly and I, or maybe it was just me, a couple years ago, I was down in Osage, Iowa, down to the Stitchery Nook, and Liz helped me with Rosewood Manor Green on Green.
I love that thing.
I do too.
And you're so close.
I know, that's why I just don't understand why I don't just go for it.
Here.
And Liz helped me pick all this out. And in fact, she showed me the color, and she called a gal that was doing it to find out exactly what the color was. So, oops, sorry. So yeah, this is, I love it.
It's beautiful.
I love it, I love it, I love it. I can't wait to finish it and get it framed. And it, what I'm using is Summer Shower by Gentle Arts. So This
Pretty.
there finishes my whips.
Okay.
That's all the whips I have.
It is not. We'll wait. You all stay tuned for the whip parades because this is going to be where the rubber meets the road, and we're going to know who really has all of the whips. So, okay, so you probably want to see what I've been working on
Please.
diligently for the past several or couple of weeks anyway. I did show this the last time we met. This is Birds of a Feather by Blackbird Design.
I just love
Forward,
that.
so there's not such glare. Yeah, I love it too. And this is out of print. And a very, very kind friend of mine told me that she had it and would I like to borrow it. So this is a borrowed pattern. And because it's a borrowed pattern, it's like gold. And I get very nervous having it in my possession. I want to just get this thing stitched and get it back on its way back to Laura. So anyway, and it may not look like I've gotten very far, but let me tell you, that border is something else.
Oh, that's just gorgeous, Shelley.
That's a lot of stitching and a lot of really tedious stitching on that border, and I'm so happy to finally be up in the flowers and having some blocks of color that I can stitch. But I'm really enjoying it. It's a fun stitch.
I don't know if she told you, but red is her favorite color.
It is,
So she really,
Yes. So yeah.
and again, she's just stitches immaculate.
All right. What's next? Any store news you want to talk about, or?
Well, maybe just the punch needle and primitive stitcher. Shelley was here last night helping me again, and I made her sit down and look at this because she knocked it out of the woods. This magazine is wonderful. There were a lot of different even punch needle and cross stitch, and wow, this will be a read over many times magazine. So
Yep. Lots of fun stuff in there. So, what we thought we would do today is go through some of our previous finishes. We both have several here sitting beside us to show you. Some are fully finished. Many are not. They are just finished. So, let's take turns doing this, shall we?
why don't you start?
You want me to start? Okay.
You start.
So, the very first one that I stitched when Justine finally got me to come back to cross stitching,
Excuse me.
thank you, was this is called Mistletoe Crow, and it's by Not Forgotten Farms. And as we told you in the last show, I've said lots of things that I've had to take back regarding cross stitching. One of them was, I'm not stitching 2 over 2. It's too confusing. I don't know how to do that. I'm just going to stitch over 1. So this is stitched 1 over 1 on 28 count. I believe it's raw linen by Zweigart. And this is the last 1 over 1 you're going to see today.
It was supposed to be an adult bird. This is a baby bird.
Oh my gosh. I'm surprised I kept going because
I think I remember the telephone conversation.
holy cow. Yeah. That's why I get nervous when I see samplers that have some 1 over 1 stitching. It's like, ooh. And I think of
But
mistletoe.
you did it.
Mistletoe Crow, and I'm like, Oh, by the way, I'm pretty sure I used the called forth threads on this. And as I show these today, I'll try to show you the pattern as well. Some of them I couldn't find. This being one of them. I think this was in one of the Punch Needle Primitive Stitcher catalogs from 2018, but couldn't find the book. So there you go. Okay, you're up.
Okay. Well, Shelley made me
I
show
will
you
show
this.
if you
Show this
wanna-
one. Okay.
If you, oh yeah, you can just.
This is back in quarantine, or was it quarantine? When we were all in quarantine. All the wonderful designers came out with freebies. And this was one, wash your hands. Whoops, sorry, the glare. So I stitched it and had it framed, and it's hanging in my bathroom here at the shop.
I like that.
And honestly, I think it is with variegated DMC.
Is it? Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Cool. Very nice. Okay, next up for me.
This is it, people. This is what got her going again.
Whoops. Yeah. When she showed me the variegated red thread, that was it. I was done.
See, you have to use psychology on Shelly, and then it works.
But this is the K is the first letter in my last name. And this is one thread, and I wish I could tell you what it is. I don't remember what I stitched it with.
And I'm sorry, I don't
I think
remember
it's a
what I gave
Weeks
you.
Dye Works maybe, but I don't remember which one.
It's just gorgeous.
You know, when I first started stitching, it never dawned on me to keep track of what I was stitching on, what I was stitching with. You'll see that slowly change as I go through my
We need to get that frame, Shelly.
I don't know if I want to frame it or put it on a pillow, but
Oh my
yeah.
goodness, that's a good idea.
But yeah, so, and I don't know who the pattern is. I think I borrowed the pattern from you.
I
'cause
got
you
it
had-
off at Etsy.
Okay, you had done an H, and so I borrowed the pattern and did up the K. And isn't this what you're using for your nieces?
Yeah, but yours is done.
Oh, okay, got it.
Mine may not get done.
All right.
Sorry, Pippi.
Okay, you're up.
Okay, I did the, oh, I might need this, sorry.
Okay.
I did the,
Do you want me to hold it?
sure,
Okay.
the free pattern last winter by Brenda Gervais. And I just thought it was the cutest. And it was so fun to stitch. So I don't have it finished yet, but I'm going to give it to my finisher and have her finish it for me.
Who's that?
That would be you.
Yeah, right. Okay. All of a sudden, she's started saying at the shop that she has a finisher that can do all this finishing for people, and apparently that's me.
Annie does a very good job at it.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Am I holding all these?
No, you're taking it home to finish it.
Oh, well, keep it over there for now. Okay.
I'll forget.
So, next up, this is one of the stack patterns by Plum Street Samplers. Let's see if I can put it up there, unless you want to hold it for
Oh,
me.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Yeah, it would
So
be
this
nice
is-
of me, wouldn't it?
This is Goat Load. Anyone that knows anything about me knows I have a thing for goats, so I had to do Goat Load. It's done on 28 count raw by Zweigert. You'll see that I did a lot of things on 28 count raw when I first started. I don't know why.
There's
That was
nothing
all I
wrong with
had,
that.
so yep, that's what I did it on. But
It's gorgeous.
yeah,
Look at that green.
and that's a combination of called for and overdyes and some DMC as well.
I'm kind of losing
So
it. Sorry.
that's all right.
Okay, we're gonna do that one together.
Which one? You can do that. I can find mine.
Are you sure?
Yep. It is right here. Okay.
Here's yours. Okay, we both have done the Quaker Sewing Tray by With Thy Needle and Thread, Brenda Gervais. And I have to say, I really enjoyed stitching
Yeah,
this one.
this was fun to
It
stitch.
was the different reds and
And
all
I love
together.
Quaker.
I do too.
I love
I really
stitching
do.
Quaker.
It is funny though how you when you change.
Yeah.
And there are things now that I would love to stitch that I would never have
Oh,
stitched
yeah.
before.
And I think they'll see that too as we go here. But yours is fully finished. Mine is not. But yeah,
well,
that
mine's
was a
not
fun one.
straight fully finished.
Okay. Now, this is one that kind of gave me some fits. This is by Hands On Design. It's the Cranberry Christmas by Hands On Design. And it's this one right here. Now, I got the Sulky pack for this and stitched with sulkies for the first time. And I had always heard that when that sulky thread, one strand of sulky thread is like two strands of any other thread, DMC or the overdyes. And I did this on the 28 count raw. but I stitched it up with the one strand of sulky, thinking I'll get coverage of 2 strands. And I don't agree. I think sulky, to me, in my opinion, sulky, a strand of sulky is maybe 1.5, like 1.5 strands of DMC. So just to see the difference, I stitched it again with 2 strands. And I do, you know, maybe on a different fabric, I would like the single strand of sulky, but I think it pops more with the 2 strands. Now, I will say, with the 2 strands, it actually kind of is a little bit bulky because it is like about a strand and a half. So technically, I was stitching with 3 strands. So yeah, it was bulky. I think that I would like using sulkies on like a 36 count linen. I think that would be just perfect.
But and I think it all depends on how you like your stitches.
Yeah. Yep. There's
because
that too.
this is elegant to me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're both gorgeous.
Thank you. Okie doke. Your turn.
Okay, here is Winter Cometh from Summer House Stitchworks.
Hold it up for you.
And I did all the
I love
called for
that.
colors. And I apologize, I don't know what I stitched on. It's one of my first ones getting back. So
I love that frame.
yeah,
It's like barnwood kind of.
It
thing.
is.
Yeah. It's
A
cute.
gentleman made it for me.
Cool.
I know.
Who's
It's all
this?
who you know.
Who's this?
Summer
I
House
missed it.
Stitchworks.
Okay. Very cute. Okay. Can you show these 2 together? They're out of the same book by JBW Designs. Ignore my little scribble at the top of this pattern book. I don't know what I was doing. I was writing some notes down about Mania. So anyway, I've done 2 out of this book, and I think I have 2 or 3 books like this. Don't they have multiple? 3? Yeah.
Or at least 3 that I know of.
But they're fun little quick stitches. You know, use them for ornaments, give them as gifts. It was fun to stitch. I'm not sure what I stitched that on. Can't tell you, sorry. Okay.
Okay, my next one is Mary and March by Kathy Barrick. And I apologize, I don't know what I stitched it on for the fabric, but I did use the called for threads.
Tell them the story about the alphabet.
The no J?
Yeah,
About you thinking I messed it up?
yeah.
Yeah. No confidence in me, you know. She said, Justine, you forgot the J. And in certain years, they didn't use a J.
Yeah, at the time, I didn't know that was common back in the day. You know, before there were certain letters in the alphabet.
That was before Justine was born.
Yeah. As soon as she came along, then they
There
started
was a J.
stitching the J's. That's awesome. Okay, so let's talk about this one next. Sorry, there's a straggler thread there. And I will show the pattern. This is Chronicles of Oline Marie, Volume 1. And I stitch, what you're looking at on the screen right now is the scissor fob. I have not finished it yet, obviously. But I also stitched the larger piece at the bottom there, and we'll show that here. Justine, you can talk about this one because you had it finished.
What happens is behind my counter at the store, I have pieces that myself, Shelly, Lynn, a couple of us have stitched and haven't finished. Well, we took this picture, or took this stitch piece, and put it in a box that we had here at the store. So
Very cute.
it opens up.
Oh, that's cool.
And this piece, along with this oak wood, is just gorgeous. Whoops, wrong way, sorry.
There you go. Don't know what I stitched that on. I think I used DMC threads for that. I'm pretty
gorgeous.
sure. Yeah, I think I may have just shown the pattern. Sorry about that. Hopefully it was quick.
Oh, me again, isn't it? Okay. This little pillow is Give Thanks by Hands on Design. And I don't know
That's
why.
so cute.
This is not really the size it's supposed to be. But I made a couple errors and it ended up a lot smaller. So I'm so sorry, but give thanks.
Patterns are just a suggestion. Especially when you screw up. Okay, these two. Flip that there. There you go. This is, I'm sure a lot of people have seen this, the well-rounded pattern by Kathy Haberman again, Hands-On Design. I started with the spring set, and I've done 2 of the 3. I have the one in the middle there to do yet, and then I'll have a full spring set. I plan to do all 4 seasons, all 3 pieces within all 4 seasons, but and I'm saving the red for last, of course. So
Seasons in the sun. Okay, the next one I have is the pillow from Hip Hop Chalk from Hands On Design and
that's cute.
Priscilla. So I kind of filled it pretty good. I don't think I'd want to get hit by this.
Well, if you need to grab it in the middle of the night for an intruder, you know. Okay. Oh, okay. You want to show this?
This is.
I think you showed this on your Welcome Wednesday. Right?
If you happen to watch my Welcome Wednesday on Welcome Stitchery Facebook page, I know this is a peace tree. I called it a peach tree. So this is the peace tree. Whoops.
And there is the pattern. It's by Little House Needleworks. There was a button. You can see on the pattern a button of a dove at the top of the tree. Justine will attest to the fact that I'm not really a button fan. So I just took and stitched a snowflake at the top of the tree instead.
Which is gorgeous. And then did you see how she finished it? Now you know why she's my finisher. Isn't that pretty?
I have to give credit to my mom. She picked out that fabric.
And I lied about that on Welcome Wednesday too.
You did?
I said it was your sister. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
well, my mom and my sister were shopping for finishing fabric. And Mom helped her pick out that fabric for something she was finishing.
Okay.
And then I decided, ooh, you know, I want the same thing. So, yeah.
Way to go, Bonnie.
Okay.
Okay, my next one is Woof by Hands On Design. Or no, not Hands On Design. I'm sorry. JBW Designs.
Oh, sure.
And apparently I'm not quite done with it because there's just a pin in there. But that was kind of fun.
That's cute.
I should put some pom-poms or something around, but
You can do that anytime.
yeah.
Okay. I think this is one of the first patterns that I bought too when you and I went to Osage.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I'll do the pattern if you want to do the. And they're both, I stitched them both, so.
And I love that they're in different fabrics. How oofta. Sorry.
This is Bittersweet Autumn by Waxing Moon Design. This designer, Waxing Moon, lives in Osage, right?
I believe
where Stitchery Nook is. And so, of course, they have a huge selection of her patterns. And I purchased this at Stitchery Nook and stitched them both. I love them. I just need to get them finished.
Not only did she finish one, she finished 2. I didn't know that was a priority when you bought a pattern. Okay, my next one is, it's on a little ladder, Simply Saying. This is by Little Stitch Girl, and this is Maze.
Oh, that's cute.
And I would love to do them all. They are, I think they're just,
cute.
and it was so bright.
Yeah.
Fun and used to the light. It's nice to use
Yeah.
those colors.
Yeah, I bet. That's cute. Okay. So, funny story about this one. This is by, is it Lila's Studio or Lila's Studio? It's the Love Ornament by Lila's Studio. And when I was stitching in the early days, I would use a highlighter. I still do use a highlighter to, I make a working copy and then I highlight as I stitch to make so that I don't, lose my spot. At any rate, I dropped the highlighter on my piece. So right down here in the bottom, bottom left corner, there's what appears to be a little holly leaf.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Covering a spot from a highlighter that I dropped on the piece.
It was either orange or green, so might as well fill it with green.
It was, yeah. No, it was bright orange highlighter, and I could not, of course, get it out. So we had to take a little bit of creative license there and add a holly leaf at the bottom of that to cover that up.
Creativity.
Lesson learned.
Okay, this is the Harvest Chockful by Hands On Design and Priscilla Blaine. This is one of my first ones I had done, and I fully finished it, so do not look very close at all.
It is cute.
But I still love it. I still love it. I love how it pops on that black material, on the chalkboard material.
And I like this little piece. Do you know?
Well, and that is what Priscilla finished it
okay.
on.
So probably Hobby Lobby,
yep.
I would guess. Probably Hobby Lobby. Okay. These fun little pieces, there's 3 of them that go together. From Little House Needleworks. The first one is called Long May She Wave. And when I bought these patterns, they had the called for floss came with them, with the pattern.
Not the material, just the floss.
Not the material. No, the material is a 28 count Jobelin in the color Boot Camp, and that's by Bestitch Me. Gorgeous, so that one is Land of the Free. And then the third one.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
I'm slacking here.
And somehow I'm going to finish them all together, I think. But the third one is Home of the Brave.
Like all together in one frame?
Something. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't decided yet how I'm going to do it. I'm thinking one long piece. Maybe just like a quilted finish, with a border, some border fabric. And
do you know somebody who quilts?
I do. I do. Well,
did I tell you she used my finisher?
She used to quilt until she started stitching. So,
well, this next one I'm going to show you, I had done a little different way, and then it apparently got dropped, so I redid it again.
I don't know who dropped it.
Yeah, and the stem I have on this is big enough to do damage, so I apologize. But this is Quaker Pumpkin from the Stitcher Hood, and I painted a Tide container, and I saw it on Instagram or somewhere, so I cannot take the credit for it at all, and then put some moss and then a big honking stem, because I'm so afraid if I break the stem off I'm gonna glue it again, which really there's nothing to glue in it. So
cute.
So that's my last one.
That's your last one?
Yes.
No. I have a lot more.
Whips.
No, not whips. Finishes. That's why she has more whips, because I have more finishes. So that is Sweater Weather. That is by, oh goodness, I'm going to forget. October something or other.
Wait a minute. Wasn't this for your daughter?
Yes.
And it's not done.
No. I stitched this for my daughter.
She likes
to say Sweater Weather. And I thought she would like that. But, oh, what is the name of that designer? October something. I apologize.
It's not October House.
October House? Is that what it's called? I don't remember. Maybe, can you put it in the...
Because I'm the one editing it. I'll see if I can remember.
Okay. Okay. So I'm just going to keep going here, right?
Yep.
So I'm very unhappy with this one.
Why?
I don't know what I was thinking when I
think it's gorgeous.
When I picked gray fabric.
Obviously,
I like it. I hope I've gotten better at picking fabric, but anyway,
Shelly, I think it's pretty. Everything, it's fun to be different.
Yeah. This is by Give Thanks Pincushion by Manny DiDonna. It's on 32 count Belfast Stormy Night.
I love the fabric.
And I used all DMC threads.
Gorgeous.
So, yeah. Okay. I'm losing my place here. Too much going on.
Okay, and we all know how Shelley doesn't like that.
Okay, here we go. This is a little ornament.
I love this.
This is by Heart and Hand, and it's her Merry Making Mini series. It's on 32 count Weeks Dye Works tin roof with all of the called for over-dyed threads. I like it too. I think it looks retro. It
I
looks kind
love
of like
that blue. Well, blue-green.
Yeah, I like it too.
I love it.
I need to get that finished for Christmas. Fully finished.
Here,
for
happy
Christmas.
holidays.
Thank you. This was a freebie by Teresa Kogut. I did this last year right before Thanksgiving. You'd think I'd have it finished by now, but nope. And that was my first time ever stitching on 40 count fabric. This is stitched on 40 count brash by Picture This Plus. And it's all the called for threads with the exception of the pumpkin stems. I used a DMC for those. So
Gorgeous.
that was a fun little stitch.
Gorgeous.
I have a thing for turkeys. I think turkeys are so cute. Turkeys, goats, whatever.
Isn't there a song like that?
All sorts of
Na,
fun
na, na,
animals.
na, na,
Let's
na.
see, I showed those last week, so I'm not going to do that again. Quaker Sewing Tray, we already talked about. Oh, here's another one of my stacks by Plum Street Samplers. This is Snort Stack,
Oops,
the
sorry.
little piggies. My kids have a thing for little piggies, so I thought I had to do that for them. I have kind of a plan for these. I almost shouldn't say this out loud, but I do someday hope to be a grandmother. I think I said in the last floss tube that my kids are 23 and 21, so I'm not quite ready yet, don't get me wrong, but I think it would be fun to have all of these Plum Street stacks done up in little pillows to just have in a basket around the house for when the grandkids come over and they can play with them.
Okay, I'll try
That's
to
my
remember
idea.
that.
Try to remember.
But that doesn't mean you can't finish them and then I can borrow them.
Oh, sure, true. You have all the little grandbabies. Yeah, I like these stack.
I love these colors.
Have you noticed that each one, and maybe you guys have noticed that each one of these has a bumblebee in it somewhere. I'm working on a third one right now, the Tired Trio, which is the sloths. And there's some over one stitching in that, so I'm having PTSD.
You can do it.
Oh, okay.
Have a little faith in you.
All Hallows Eve Mini. Let you show that. This is another Waxing Moon Designs. It's on a 32 count Jobelin in the colorway Pumpkin Pie by Bestitch Me. And I stitched this one, that is a silk. It's all black cauldron silk, also by Bestitch Me. So that
Very
was a
pretty.
fun little one to stitch up quickly.
Oh, and what else did you learn about making your little...
Oh, yes. So if you see in the corner of this piece, you got to get it up a little closer, I think. In the upper left corner, there's a little purple mark. I had an erasable pen that I was using to mark my starting point, and I would iron it, and it would disappear. Unbeknownst to me, it disappears with heat, but it reappears with cold. So when you live in Minnesota...
I was just saying, where do we live?
So when I was taking my finished pieces or bringing them down here to Justine last March when she was getting ready to open the store, it was cold out and it came back. So I'm going to have to iron it when I'm ready to finish it, iron it up so that it disappears, get it finished, and then keep it in a warm location.
by the heat register. Shelley, how
Next
come we
thing
have
you know,
so many pillows?
yeah, next thing you know, I'll have everything will be starting on fire because I'm trying to keep it hot. Oh, good Lord.
Oh, this one is gorgeous.
Okay, yeah, I think I have. This one is an Abby Rose Designs called Let Freedom Ring. I absolutely loved that blue house. For some reason, I just could not get past it, so I had to stitch it. It's on 28 count Wren by Picture This Plus, And I used all of the called for overdyed flosses, and I love that thing. I need to get it finished. And one of the reasons I haven't is because it's not going to fit in a standard frame. So,
Well, I believe Linda's been after you to get it
yes,
framed.
yes, another gal that helps out here at the store. Hi, Linda. It's not framed yet. Sorry. She keeps telling me, get that thing framed. So, yeah, I need to do that. That was fun to stitch. I enjoyed that. Okay. I'm going to do all these too. Oh, goodness, Justine.
This is the one you called me on
I called you?
this
Oh,
morning.
yes, I couldn't find
Do
it.
you have this one at your house or
I
at the
couldn't
shop?
find it anywhere this morning when I was looking for it. And yes, I had to. I did find it though. This is Autumn Acorns by the Blue Flower. Janine McGowan, I believe is her name, the designer. And I did it on 32 count vintage exemplar by Lakeside. And I used many of the called for silks, but I also took a little creative license on this one as well and made a few changes. I kind of prefer warmer colors, and her called for colors were a little bit cooler, so I just decided, hey, I'm gonna shake this up a little bit. I was looking for there it is. You can see on Janine's version, it's just a little bit cooler with some grays and blues, and I just wanted it warmer. So
Both are gorgeous.
And it was fun. And then Janine also has a few other patterns that have acorns in them. And my plan is to do all of them in kind of the same color scheme and somehow put them together when I finish. So
Oh, nice. What a good idea.
we'll see how that goes.
You are so smart.
I always have, these big ideas, but we all know how that goes. So, okay, the next one, this is a freebie. One of the celebration smalls from Hello from Liz Matthews that she's been doing this year called Bloom. This was one of my summer camp finishes. I think it was the August finish. But that was a little freebie pattern from Liz Matthews. It was fun.
love those colors.
Yeah, I did that on a mystery color and cotton fabric. I don't even know what size it is. I'm pretty sure it's a 32. And I did those in Mrs. Sada's and Stitchy Box and Dinky Dyes and X-Jew Designs silks. The whole thing is done in silks.
It's gorgeous.
So
Is that blue or black?
black.
Gorgeous.
Thank you. Now, I showed you my whip earlier, the Birds of a Feather Blackbird that I am borrowing from my friend Laura. And Laura also borrowed me another out-of-print Blackbird pattern. And I've stitched this up for my son. My son is very patriotic. He's not in the military, but he's very patriotic. This is America by Blackbird Design. I did it on 32 count dark cobblestone Lugana, and I'll talk a little bit more about that, but I used all the called for DMC. Now, inside where the background for the flag is, inside the frame, that was supposed to be all stitched. And I decided that wasn't going to happen. So Justine helped me, and we pulled the color that was supposed to be stitched there and tried to find a fabric that was really close. And this dark cobblestone was really close to that color. So I did not stitch it. I just stitched it on a fabric that would show it that way. If you can go up a little bit.
Oops, sorry.
I also did the same for the America. You were supposed
sorry.
to stitch that dark color all the way around the America as well, but I didn't need to because I used the color of the fabric to do that instead.
It's just gorgeous. And when your son thanks you for something like this, what
Yeah.
a good kid.
Yeah.
And you know how much he appreciated
He's
it.
excited. He also asked me if he could buy my peace tree when I got it
that's right.
finished. He thought that was really cute and thought that would be nice if he could have that to decorate his apartment for Christmas.
Maybe his mommy needs to do another
Yeah,
one.
right.
A peach tree this time.
Yeah, exactly. And then I do have a couple of others here. I'll just show them real quickly. These are more that are finished, fully finished. Okay.
Want me to?
Yes, please. That is Stitchy Stars by Lori Holt. Come back. There you go. And this is finished on a Bake Me a Cake piece from Hobby Lobby, as you can see. I did not glue it in there because
You're gonna kill me.
no, I'm not. My plan is to do this Stitchy Stars for each season. So this would be my summer one. I want to do a fall one, a winter one, and a spring one. And that's why I didn't glue it in, because I want to be able to pop them in and out. But I should do magnets.
I was gonna say some people,
yeah.
you know,
I just have not done that yet. So
because you're so
there we
busy
go.
finishing everything else.
So that's Stitchy Stars.
Do you trust me to hold this one?
You tell the story about this one, Justine.
Tell the story.
Tip it down just a touch. There you go.
What's the story?
Well, our girlfriend Chris, who we've talked about here before,
Mm-hmm.
has a thing for gnomes. And so Justine saw this pattern and she said, Shelly, you need to stitch this for Chris.
Sorry, Chris, I got it.
So, of course, I set to work. Boy, I was going to stitch this up for Chris. And as I was finishing, Justine was getting closer and closer to buying the shop. And when I finished it up, she said, you know what? Let's frame that and use it as a model in the shop. So, sorry, Chris.
Thanks for the idea, though.
This was supposed to go to you. Maybe you'll see it someday.
Sorry.
This is a Shannon Christine,
Yes,
right?
it is,
Yeah.
and it's so fun to see people see the models
Yeah,
and buy it from there, because there's been a lot of people who have liked that one.
yeah. We used all the called for DMC on this, if I remember correctly, but I don't remember what the background fabric was. I want to say it's Tin Roof. Is that Tin
It
Roof?
looks like it.
I think it's Tin Roof by Weeks Dye Work. So, going her way.
I know, it's kind of hard.
You know, we're probably doing a horrible job. We're not looking at the camera like we should. But
I know, but at least you can see
Yes.
the bottom. I'm so sorry for last week.
After 2 weeks ago, after our floss tube, we realized that you could only see half of everything
I'm
that we
so
were
sorry.
showing. So we are actually mirroring her iPhone onto her iPad. And so if you see us looking down, it's so that we can properly put these up so that you can see them. So I apologize if we're not always looking in the camera.
We're thinking of you, though.
Yep, it's all about you guys. This one is another Plum Street sampler.
Let me hold it. This is, if you were to pick a pattern to prove that Shelly, this is her. This is her altogether. Only thing is, it needs a little more red.
It does. It's more orange than red, but I still like it. But they're supposed to be, I think they're supposed to be poppies, and I have a thing for poppies. My whole living room and dining room are decorated in poppies, but that is a Plum Street sampler piece. I used all the called for over dye floss. Did I put this? What are you doing? I think I did this. No, I don't think that's raw. It might be flax linen.
Could be.
Yeah.
Shelly framed it herself.
Oh, yeah. That was
An
my
awesome
first go at, I did the pinning method. I put the piece, first I put a piece of cotton batting on it, and then on foam core board, excuse me. I put cotton batting on foam core board, and then I put the piece on it, and I pinned it all the way around. And I don't know, it's not too bad for a first try, but it's very tedious. I'm not going to lie.
It's very good. It's very good.
But anyway, yeah. Okay.
And out of all this stuff, Shelly, what do you have hanging in your house?
Nothing.
Because I have it all. I'm sorry.
It's okay. All right. You want to hold that up? This is just tip it forward. There you go. This is Christmas in the Pines by Stony Creek. I saw this model hanging on the wall down in Osage, and I knew immediately I had to stitch it. And no, as I've said, I am not a fan of buttons, but I am a huge fan of cardinals. And when I saw that cardinal button, I thought, yep, I'm actually gonna put the button on because I love cardinals. It says along the bottom, "Have yourself a merry little Christmas," and I love this thing. It's beautiful,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm happy to have Justine display it in the shop. Okay.
This is another
Now-
one of the top sellers.
Yeah. Now I'm trying to remember what that linen is.
Picture this plus.
It's Picture This Plus Regency, but it's also the sparkly, the iridescent, opalescent. There you go. It's Picture This Plus opalescent Regency fabric. I don't remember the count. Sorry, but I used all of the called for overdyed threads for that as well. Okay. And I think just a couple more pillows here and we're probably done. These are by Hands On Design. I hunted the house for these patterns today so that I could show them.
Let me show one.
Yeah. And I get here and Justine says, "Oh, I think you borrowed those to me." So Justine is apparently, I bet these are in one of her 1,000 whips that she has at her house.
It's overrated.
But I just did fun little pillow finishes.
I
Why
think they
can't
are
I figure this
adorable.
out?
And then look at how she finished the back. How cute.
Just little wool and some pins and buttons. Oops, this way.
Oh my.
So, and I have to give, if I don't give my sister credit for this backing fabric, I will never hear the end of it.
Good job, Shannon.
So I was having such a hard time. This blue, you wouldn't think it is weird and hard to match, but I could not match some fabric to that blue to save my life. But I did find the exact blue, but the fabric was white. I mean, stark white. The flowers were stark white. And I thought, that's not going to work because my cross stitch fabric isn't white and it's going to just, that's not going to work. And Shannon said, "Shannon, here you go. Ready?" Shannon said, "Well, why don't you coffee tea dye it?" Duh. So I did. This used to be blue and white fabric, but I coffee tea dyed it and that kind of antiqued it up a bit.
It's gorgeous.
And it works. Yeah.
Good job, Shannon.
So yeah. And I think that's it. Kyle, I have stuff everywhere here. What do you think?
Well, I think I would, if you don't mind, I do have one more thing to
Okay.
show about the shop.
Yeah, please.
If you know me, I apologize. And ever since I can remember, I think it was junior high, I love Christmas. I love the holidays. And I think part of it is because we're supposed to have Christmas in our heart all year round. And okay, maybe part of it is that I wanted to irritate my friends because I can guarantee you that they've all heard it more than once. But my saying is happy holidays all year round.
Yeah, doesn't matter what time of the year, doesn't matter. She sees you on the street, at the bank, at the post office. Happy holidays! You know it's Justine.
So when I bought the store, Monica had a holiday room, and we have continued that here. It's the happy holidays room. So what I wanted to do is have a pattern designed with a happy holidays on it. So I am going to have a new pattern designed every year for my happy holidays,
Exclusive to you.
exclusive to me, only here. And the first year, Carolyn Manning has made it, and we have it all put together. Thanks, Lynn wrapped them so nicely. And I have the pattern, the fabric, the floss, a couple little extra things in there for $32. And I have it on 32 count and 14 count. And the finishing is not in there, but this is the first. So this is 2021 Happy Holidays.
There's a 2021 charm in there so that you can add that to your finishing and know which one it is every year.
Because my finisher finished mine for me. Thank you, Shelley.
You're welcome.
So next year we'll have another one, and the following year we'll have another one. So if you are interested, pop in and pick them up. We only have so many made up right now, and there are some on my website also. So if you're interested,
Great.
happy holidays.
Great. Well, if we're going to keep this under an hour.
Oh my goodness. My mom and brother are going to have a fit. It's longer than last time.
Ready? Cheers to stitching.
Have a good week.
Bye.
Thank you.